Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. On this week's video we will be making Brinjol Pakora, so aubergine pakora or eggplant pakora. So guys, first of all, thank you ever so much for subscribing and liking our videos, and if you haven't already done so, please do so. So the first thing we're going to do to make our Brinjol Pakora is we're going to slightly spice these aubergine. I've cut them into circles, thinly sliced, you can see. And what we're going to do now, we're going to spice them up, let it marinate for about 15 minutes, and then that will release the moisture from the aubergine, and then we're going to make our batter for pakora. So the first thing we're going to do is add a quarter tablespoon of haldi powder. I've also got some Kashmiri Red Chilli Powder, so again just under half, and again it depends on how much you've got. So I've got about half of an aubergine on here, and I'm also going to add about quarter teaspoon of salt. Give it a quick mix. Make sure the mix just gets into all of them, because that's where the flavour is going to happen individually. Oops, keep them in the pot. That looks pretty good mix. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to cover that up, leave that aside for 15 minutes, and I will start on the batter. Alright guys, so to make our Brinjol Pakora, I've got some gram flour. So literally I've got a teacup of gram flour in here, so I'm going to put this in here. And again, it depends on how much pakora you're making. To be fair, I have got quite a bit of pakora brinjal in there, so what I might do, add a bit more in there. And again, I'm using gram flour, so this is all gram flour, just what you normally use to make onion bhaji or other pakoras in there. Right, so that's that. So what we're going to do, we are going to get this all spiced up. Now what we need to remember is that we have got our salt and so forth already in our brinjal, so we're just going to be slightly careful. So again, I'm going to add about a quarter. Haldi powder again, quarter. Again, this will give the colour. And again, I'm going to use Kashmiri again, but I'm going to use one teaspoon. Again, add it to your taste. I've also got my all-purpose home-style mix powder recipe. If you haven't seen this, I will leave a link below. And if you haven't got this, I'm using 1.5 teaspoons. If you haven't got this recipe, you can use, well, I'll put the link on the below so you can make it. If you haven't got the time to make it, you can use regular Madras Curry Powder. That'll be okay. And I've also got, this is fresh but whole spice. This is my own, I say own of. This is Coriander Powder, freshly grinded, okay? So that's 1 teaspoon, and again, because it's freshly made, out of the whole spice, this will give you a nice smell to it. So let's put that back. I'm also going to use a quarter of baking powder, just to make it all nice and fluffy for us. So give it a good mix. I've also got some coriander that I'll be using, and I've also got some finely chopped green chilies. I'm going to use that at the end. I'm going to make a few without it, and then I'm going to make a few for myself with the chili in there as well. So this, I guess the first one's going to be family friendly, if they don't like slightly too spicy. Right, so that's all our spices mixed in there. And again, we don't want to overpower it with the masala. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do, we're going to start adding some water. So I've got some cold water here from the tap, I'm just going to gently add these in there. So we want to get a nice smooth texture. And don't worry if you add too much water, because you can always add more gram flour. If you have run out of gram flour, feel free to use a bit of plain flour as well in there if you want to, you can do. Look at this colour, you can see all the spice and that in there as well, so which is really nice. Just try and get all the lumps out. So this consistency is what we're looking for, and that's just going to hold the brinjal together nicely while we fry it. So I'm going to add a good pinch of coriander, so this one is going to be for, it's just going to be nice and flavoursome but without the chili heat on it. Okay, so this is nice. Okay guys, so it's been about 15 minutes or so since our aubergine has been marinating with the spices that we've put in there. We've also got our batter ready in within that time. So here it is. So what I'm going to do now is just drop a few in here. Just take a few. Just give it a mix. So these ones I'm going to make without the chili, and these ones are going to have the chili in there. So let that sit there for about a minute or so while we heat up our oil. So let's just go over to the cooker. Okay guys, so we have got our oil on heat. It is warm, and we've got our brinjal pakora mixture is ready. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly test the oil just to make sure it's nice and hot. As you can see, this is warm. So that's one way you can test it, just to make sure it is nice and hot for us. So what we're going to do now, we're going to crack on and put our brinjal mixture. Hopefully you can see this. Yes, you can. So all we're going to do now is just literally pick it up, give it a swipe on the end, put it down. Give it a turn. Make sure both sides are cooked. Look at that. Pakora is one of those things where, as long as you've seen the batter that I've given you, the batter recipe. If you want to, you can put other things, other vegetables in there. It doesn't need to be aubergine. It can be other stuff. Potato, but the potatoes would have to be pre-boiled potato as well, or very thinly sliced. I have actually got a recipe of aloo pakora as well. You can put chicken in there, so chicken, nicely thin slices of chicken in there. That'll be pretty cool. Now these are looking really good, guys, so just going to make sure they are all, a couple of minutes they all need, because the oil is nice and warm while it's hot. There you go. Guys, first of all, thanks ever so much for checking our videos out, as well as liking and subscribing to our channel. look how nice and fluffy these ones are going guys. Nice. Just going to wait till a bit longer to get it nice and crispy. And again, when you're cooking these, don't overload the karai with the brinjal because the oil's going to get colder. So we want the oil to remain on a nice temperature, and the cooking process continues. Just going to give it about another 30 seconds or so. So while that's going, I'm going to get the other aubergine in. I'm going to do a couple more without the chili. So these ones are ready now, so I'm going to get these out. Little tissue on the plate. There we go. The rest of them will have the chili. So chili just goes in. Give it a good mix. There we go. Right, it's been a couple of minutes since these are ready. Nice and golden colour, guys. There we go. Now, time for the spicy brinjal. Okay, so we're just gonna do our spicy Brinjol Pakora. And just make sure you're getting the batter in there. Fantastic, they look so good. Look at the chili hanging out of this one, guys. Nice. So these ones are our spicy Brinjol Pakora. And as if by magic, guys, we have got our Brinjol Pakora here. First two are the spicy ones. The other two are the non-spicy ones. So let's see if you can see it there. Look at that. Don't they look amazing? I have got chili sauce and I've got a good old tomato sauce here. So let's give it a quick go. Dip it in. Look at that. Definitely chili sauce and chilies in there. Big thumbs up, guys. Bit with the ketchup. Look at that. It's all nicely cooked. I must say I prefer the chili sauce with it, so that's what I'll be having. Right, guys, enjoy the recipe. Please like and share my channel. And I really appreciate you guys watching this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.